Engine roaring, wind whipping past my face. Belgium. The open road stretched out before me, a ribbon of possibility. I smelled freedom, tasted adventure. Each bite of local cuisine was a new experience, a new story waiting to be told. This wasn't just a trip, it was a pilgrimage. Every landmark I passed held a piece of history, a fragment of the past, a promise to a dying man, my grandfather. Find his grandfather's grave. It was a mission that transcended time and space, a casualty of World War I lost in the trenches. His story, like so many others, was one of sacrifice and bravery. My Indian, a steel stallion, ate up the miles. Each mile brought me closer to fulfilling that sacred promise. Each town a new story, each cobblestone street whispered secrets of the past, each face a potential connection to the past. Conversations with locals revealed hidden histories and personal tales. The weight of my grandfather's last wish sat heavy but fueled my determination. It was a quest that demanded resilience and heart. Belgium unfolded before me, a tapestry woven with history, sorrow, and resilience. The landscapes were as diverse as the stories they held. I wasn't here for waffles and chocolate. I was here to dive deep into the soul of this land. This wasn't a tourist jaunt. It was raw, visceral. Every moment was intense, every experience authentic. I could feel the ghosts of the Great War whispering in the wind. Their presence was palpable, their stories haunting. This was their story, and somewhere in the heart of it all was my family's story. A narrative that spanned generations and continents. The air crackled with anticipation, and I held on tight, ready for the ride. Each turn of the road was a step closer to uncovering the past. Antwerp, a city rising from the ashes of war. Its port, a gateway to the past. The scars of conflict were visible, but so was the spirit of defiance. Crumbling walls stood next to modern architecture, a testament to the city's enduring spirit. I parked my bike, the silence after the engine's roar deafening. I walked the cobblestone streets, each step echoing through the ages. I felt the weight of history pressing down, the echoes of battles fought and lives lost. But amidst the somber reminders of war, life pulsed through Antwerp's veins. Laughter spilled out of cafes, children chased pigeons in the square. The city was breathing, living, a testament to the human spirit's ability to rise above tragedy. My heart, heavy with the task ahead, felt a flicker of hope. Leaving Antwerp, I rode into the heart of Flanders. Flatlands stretched out before me, deceptively serene. Beneath the surface, the earth held the memories of a million tragedies. The air hung heavy, thick with the ghosts of soldiers long gone. I stopped at a roadside memorial, a stark reminder of the war's brutal toll. Rows upon rows of white crosses, stretching as far as the eye could see. Each cross, a life cut short, a story untold. The silence was deafening, broken only by the wind whispering through the grass. I could almost hear the clash of steel, the roar of cannons, the cries of the fallen. The weight of their sacrifice pressed down on me, a heavy cloak of responsibility. I had to find him. For my grandfather, for myself, for the memory of those lost souls. Ypres, a name synonymous with sacrifice. The town was a living museum, its rebuilt buildings a testament to the war's devastation. The Menin Gate, a solemn reminder of the missing, stood tall and proud. I stood beneath the arch, the names of the fallen etched in stone, a somber roll call of the lost. The last post ceremony, a daily ritual of remembrance, brought tears to my eyes. The sound of the bugle, mournful and haunting, echoed through the silent crowd. In Ypres, history wasn't confined to museums. It was alive, breathing in the very air. I felt a profound connection to the past, a sense of shared grief and resilience. This was where my great-grandfather fought, where he breathed his last. I had to find him, to pay my respects, to close the circle. Exhausted, I stopped at a small cafe in Ypres. The aroma of strong coffee filled the air, a comforting scent. An old man sat at a corner table, nursing a cup. His eyes, though clouded with age, held a spark of recognition. He spoke broken English, his words thick with a Belgian accent. We talked about the war, his memories still vivid, his voice cracking with emotion. He told stories of heroism and loss, of ordinary men caught in extraordinary circumstances. He spoke of a young soldier, a medic, who died saving others. His description, though vague, sparked a flicker of recognition. Could this be him, my great-grandfather? The old man pointed me towards the local archives, a treasure trove of war records. A glimmer of hope emerged from the darkness. The local archives were a labyrinth of musty files and faded photographs. Time seemed to stand still within those walls, the air thick with the weight of history. The archivist, a kind woman with a passion for the past, helped me navigate the maze of information. Hours turned into days as I pored over records, my fingers tracing the faded ink. The names blurred together, a litany of the lost, but then a breakthrough, a name, a date, a regiment. It matched my great-grandfather. The archivist helped me locate his service record, his story unfolding before my eyes. He was indeed a medic, his bravery commended. He died rescuing a wounded comrade, his sacrifice etched in official records. My heart swelled with pride, tinged with a profound sense of loss. Armed with the location of his final resting place, I set off for Mons, a city southwest of Brussels. The journey was a blur of emotions. Relief at finding him, anticipation of finally fulfilling my promise, and a deep, abiding sadness for a life cut short. The Belgian countryside flew by, a tapestry of rolling hills and quaint villages, but my mind was elsewhere, lost in thoughts of my great-grandfather. What was he like, this man I never knew? What were his hopes and dreams? I thought about my grandfather, his last wish now within reach. This journey was for him, a way to connect with his past, to honor the sacrifices of his family. I rode on, the miles melting away, driven by a sense of purpose. A town frozen in time. Mons, a place where history seems to stand still. The city had a timeless quality, its cobblestone streets and historic buildings whispering tales of a bygone era. Every corner, every stone seemed to hold a story, a memory of days long past. It was here in this picturesque town that my great-grandfather took his final breath. The town's charm and beauty were a stark contrast to the sorrow that lingered in my heart. The weight of his sacrifice hung heavy in the air, a palpable reminder of the cost of freedom and the passage of time. I found the cemetery on a hill overlooking the city. The view was breathtaking, yet it was the solemnity of the place that truly captured my attention. It was a peaceful place, bathed in the warm glow of the setting sun. The tranquility of the scene was almost surreal, offering a moment of reflection and connection. Rows upon rows of headstones stood in silent tribute, a testament to lives lived and lost. Each stone told a story, each name a chapter in the history of this town. I walked slowly, my heart pounding in my chest, each step bringing me closer to my destination. The anticipation was almost overwhelming, a mix of fear and hope. The air grew heavy with anticipation and a strange sense of peace settled over me. It was as if the spirits of the past were guiding me, leading me to where I needed to be. I was close, I could feel it. The connection to my great-grandfather was almost tangible, a bond that transcended time and space. My great-grandfather was here, waiting for me, waiting for his story to be told. His legacy, his sacrifice, and his life were all part of the fabric of this town, a town frozen in time. And then I saw it. A simple headstone, weathered by time but still standing proud. The inscription read, Private John Miller, Medical Corps, 1892 to 1918, a hero to the last. My breath caught in my throat. I had found him. I stood there for a long time just staring at the headstone. A wave of emotions washed over me, sadness, pride, relief. I traced the inscription with my fingers, feeling a connection to this man I never knew. He was family. He was my blood. I thought about his sacrifice, his willingness to give his life for his comrades. He was a hero, and I felt a surge of pride in that moment. I pulled out a flask of whiskey and poured a shot onto the grave, a toast to his memory. The sun began to set, casting long shadows across the cemetery. The air grew chilly, and a light rain began to fall. I stood there for a long time, lost in my thoughts, feeling a sense of closure I hadn't expected. I had fulfilled my promise to my grandfather. I had found his grandfather. As I turned to leave, I noticed something I hadn't seen before. A small wooden cross lay at the foot of the headstone. It was adorned with a single poppy, a symbol of remembrance. Someone had been here. Someone still remembered. I took a deep breath and offered a silent salute. Rest in peace, John Miller. The ride back was bittersweet, a mix of emotions swirling within me. I had accomplished what I set out to do, but a part of me didn't want to leave. The road behind me was filled with memories, each mile a testament to the journey I had undertaken. I had found a piece of myself in Belgium, a connection to my family's past that I never knew existed. It was like uncovering a hidden chapter of my own story, one that had been waiting for me all along. I thought about all the people I had met, the stories I had heard, the emotions I had experienced. Each encounter had left an indelible mark on my soul, shaping me in ways I hadn't anticipated. This journey had changed me profoundly. It wasn't just about the destinations, but the journey itself that had transformed my perspective. It had opened my eyes to the horrors of war, the sacrifices made by so many, and the enduring power of the human spirit. I had seen the scars left by conflict, but also the resilience and hope that persisted. As I rode, I couldn't help but feel a sense of gratitude. Gratitude for the experiences, the lessons, and the people who had touched my life along the way. Gratitude for my grandfather for entrusting me with his last wish. His faith in me had given me the strength to embark on this journey. Gratitude for the people of Belgium, for preserving the memory of the fallen. Their dedication to honoring the past had given me a deeper appreciation for history and sacrifice. And gratitude for the journey itself, for teaching me so much about myself, my family, and the world we live in. It was a journey of self-discovery, of understanding where I came from and where I was headed.